Hi everyone, from Brent Graham coming to you on the Good for the Game extra channel for this Tour de France 2025 Stage 7 betting preview. We'll get into that in just a moment, but just a reminder, if you are new to the Good for the Game extra channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoy these previews. It helps our rankings a lot. Right, before we get into Stage 7, which I can tell you is going to be another thrilling stage, wow, Stage 6 delivered in no uncertain terms. And the good news for us is it also delivered on the betting front. Ben Healy, one of 4 selections. He was 22-1, and he was the only selection to make the break. But with over 40 kilometers to go, he attacked on his breakaway companions on the descent, was going at a great pace. They couldn't get to him straight away. And then it was often, as is often the case, of guys looking at each other and looking for each other to do the work to bring him back. In the end, Simmons and Storer gave chase. They made a bit of inroads on him, but Healy was just far too strong. What a brilliant win. But I would like to give Simmons a big shout out as well. He's already worked hard in this Tour de France. And like Healy, he was very much responsible for the break getting away. Storer sort of sat on him at the end and jumped him. And you would have assumed that Storer, being such a strong climber, would go away and win on that final rise. But Simmons, in fact, came back around him. So I would say keep a close eye on Simmons in this Tour de France, and also Healy as well. Storer, also a good ride from him. You could see the strain the guys were taking out. It was a long stage, and it was an incredibly hilly stage, over 3,000 meters of climbing, about 3,500 if I recall correctly. Mathieu van der Poel, well, he was second favorite for the stage, but you could see how much strain he was taking at the end. Lost a lot of time to the breakaway, but managed to hang on to the yellow jersey by 1 second. There's Pogačar came in behind him ahead of Vingegaard. I think Visma were hoping that Pogačar would keep the yellow jersey, and that is why they were working towards the end of the stage. But in the end, it was Van der Poel who got it by 1 second. But anyway, we'll move on now. But Ben Healy, you absolute biscuit. Right, looking at the outright betting, Pogačar still very short now at 1-5 for the win. You can get 4-1 Jonas Vingegaard, 22-1 Remco Evenepoel. There we have it. Pogačar 1 second behind on the right-hand side. Remco and Vakulin are still within a minute, and Vingegaard 114 back. Let's have a look at the points classification. This is getting really, really interesting. Milan is out from 17 to 20 to even money. He has taken the green jersey back from Pogačar. He picked up points in the intermediate sprint. He's 4 points now ahead of Van der Poel. Now, what was interesting today was that Van der Poel went for the intermediate sprint, although I did see on the WhatsApp group at Grootlam did post an interview with Van der Poel which says he's not really focusing on the green. The team just asked him to be up there today, and he was. So he's very much, I've always said if Van der Poel wants this green jersey, if that becomes an objective, he's going to be very, very hard to stop. But anyway, that was Van der Poel on 108. You got Pogačar there, of course, picked up more points still today. He's on 106, and Gourmet now, he's 10 points back on 102. Looking at the betting there, Van der Poel has shortened now 2.75. What's that? 35 to 20. Is that right? 1 point. Yeah, 35 to 20. And Pogačar's drifted a bit out to 3-1. Gourmet very firm there, still at 9-2. Oh, this is going to be a very interesting race. If you had to ask me now who the value is, I'd have to say Pogačar there at 3-1, because he's just going to pick up points without even trying in this race. King of the Mountains, it's early days. Wellens leads with 7 points. Pogačar's even money. If you think there's 80 points on stage 18, it puts it all into perspective. Right, let's have a look at the stage 7 route. We've got a very exciting Friday to look forward to. Very much, there's still about 2,500 square meters of climbing, but not the sort of stage that we had today. It's not quite as difficult. It will be a bit easier to control, also quite long at 197 kilometers. The start, certainly a lot flatter than it was on stage 6. So it should be easier to control who gets in the breakaway. And ultimately, the climbs come once again towards the end of the stage, including, of course, the finish, the Muur de Bretagne, and that is 2 kilometers at 6.9%. But I'm going to come back to the slide in a second, but let's just jump ahead and show you that first kilometer is really tough. That's averaging over 9% with parts at 15%. So there's going to be brutal damage done there. But what that does mean, if you carry a bit of a lead over the top there, others do have time in the last kilometer to pull you back. But at the same time, it's also a great opportunity for those who maybe want to catch the favorites looking at each other to make a little bit of a breakaway there. So either way, we're in for an absolutely thrilling finish and can't wait for that one. Let's go back to the overall stage profile, though. What sort of break is going to get away? I think we're going to get a battle for the break, but nothing like what we had today. I mean, it was about a 2-hour battle before the break eventually settled. I don't think we're going to get as big a battle. The question, I guess, is who's going to chase. Now, Van der Poel is obviously in yellow. He's also well suited to the stage. He's won on this climb in the Tour de France 4 years ago. The problem for Van der Poel is he looked absolutely spent at the end of the stage. You could see he was losing so much time. At one stage, it looked like he was going to cruise into the yellow jersey, but he lost a lot of time. I just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. But I do expect his team to sort of keep the break in check. And then it'll be interesting to see, will Vingegaard's Visma team take it up? They were more aggressive today than I thought. I thought they should take a bit of a back seat, but they clearly want to try and keep Pogačar under pressure. Will Pogačar go through for the stage? Well, initially, I don't think Pogačar is going to be too worried about the break. But if we get to a stage where it's clear the break is going to come back, then I wouldn't be surprised to see UAE put their foot on the hammer and try and bring it back, because he is the most likely of the GC contenders to take those bonus seconds. We'll have a look at the betting in just a second. And what we'll see there is Pogačar is the big favorite here, and that's at World Sports Betting. He's 25 to 20. I've seen as short as 9 to 10 elsewhere. A reminder, and I'll just pop back to that slide, that World Sports Betting do have that refund for second place. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this one tonight. I was very tempted to back Pogačar because I do think he's probably going to win the stage. And if not, if he gets pipped by Mathieu van der Poel or someone else, maybe makes a late break on the final climb, I think every chance been running second. So I wouldn't discourage you. It's just we're getting to the sort of price now where I start looking for bigger prices down the boards, perhaps to my cost. But I'm going to give you 4 riders here, which I'm going to have running for me tomorrow. The first, and we got a bit of money in the kitty. We've had 3 winners in 6 stages, including that 22 to 1 shot. So not looking too bad at this point. I'm going to go a bet on each of these riders. Vacquelin at 40 to 1. He has looked absolutely superb. He rode a brilliant individual time trial as well. He is the sort of rider I could see perhaps attacking as they come over the really steep part of the climb. And he might just be given that little bit of room by the likes of Pogačar and Vingegaard, as they don't want to be the one to necessarily bring the other one back to him. And that might be enough for him to get the win. I'm going for Hershey again. He did attempt early on to get into the break today. Maybe he hasn't got brilliant legs. I was quite impressed with him in stages 2 and 4, but at 99 to 1, I can't resist you. I'm going to go with him. Probably have to win from the break, but if he does have good legs, he is the sort as well who could make a late attack from the GC group, assuming that the GC guys are not going absolutely hell for leather at that point. Aramburu, a bit of a sentimental pick for me. I've always liked this guy. He's riding for Cofidis now. Used to be with a Movistar team. Strong sprinter uphill. I don't know, to be honest, if he's got the legs at the moment to do this. Also a rider who might try get in the break, but just someone I want on my side, and at 99 to 1, why not? And then how's this for a pick? I picked Jorgensen the other day at 45 or 40, I think it was, and he did do a late attack. Now, Jorgensen, by the way, is around about the 40 to 1. No, there he is at World Sports Betting, 40 to 1. These bets, by the way, are taken at BetExchange. I don't get the benefit of the second place refund, but when you're only putting small amounts down like this and the prices are big, you don't worry quite as much about it. And I'm saying, how about UAE pulling a little bit of a Visma maneuver here, and instead of using Almeida to pull Pogačar, or certainly he'll do a bit of work for him, how about Almeida attacks late at the top of the climb? Pogačar looks at Visma and says, boys, chase him down. 124 to 1. Is it going to happen? Well, I can tell you the odds are about 124 to 1. But if it does, I'll certainly be collecting and shouting him home. Looking very, very forward to this stage indeed. I'll probably try and catch the opening. I'll probably record it. I've actually got meetings in the afternoon, but I'll definitely catch it up, watch how the break forms, and then fast forward and join them for the last 50 or 60 kilometers of the stage. So far, this Tour de France absolutely living up to expectations. I'm loving it. I hope you enjoy the videos. Once again, hit the subscribe button and the like. Hit the bell as well, and you'll be notified when they go up on the Good for the Game Extra channel. If you did miss our rugby show, then take a look at my Twitter account at Brent Graham. Our live rugby show went out at 9 o'clock tonight, looking at the international games. You can find it there on, I still call it Twitter, but of course it is X now. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you Friday night or Saturday morning for the Stage 8 betting preview.